All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, so I'm DMaze. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm 26 years old. Um, and I've been doing music for about 7 years now. So yes,
Wow. So you were very young when you started.
yeah.
Okay. Is this all you do?
No, it's
No.
not. Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. So what are you doing as far as music goes? Are you just making music?
No, so I'm actually like putting out music right now, doing videos, kind of going like the whole 9 yards, performing. Um, Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of doing it all right now.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. How many performances have you done?
really count.
So a good bit.
Yeah, a good bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I talk to people and they're like, "Oh, this will be my first one." So you've been doing it for a while.
Yes. It
Mhm.
was definitely before like COVID started. There used to be kind of a showcase in Fayetteville that would happen like every Tuesday, and every Tuesday I was out there
Oh, that's
performing.
awesome.
So yeah, that was nice to have.
Yeah, so you probably have a pretty good audience.
Yes, I do.
Well, yeah, no. To you, yeah, it sounds like you're doing a lot. You have to be making connections, people are noticing you, I'm sure.
Yes,
What
yes. It
what
doesn't,
genre?
huh?
What genre are you making?
So right now it's alternative hip hop.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Who's some of your favorite artists?
I like a lot of artists. That's really hard to say.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
I think one of my like top artists right now would have to be Ali Uchas.
Oh my gosh, I love her. Okay.
Yeah. Kate Renata. I do like Mariah Scientist. I just saw her perform.
Oh, that's awesome.
Um,
Any artists that really have influenced kind of the style of music that you make? Or you're in your own lane?
That's really hard to say too. Um, I would like to say I'm in my own lane, but I do have a lot of like I've been inspired by quite a few people. So I would say kind of the Texas style, like Bun B, um, and then maybe just some Southern artists. Oh, uh, Pastor Troy.
Yeah, well, we're really close in age, and we've been around for a lot of different types of music and like new
Yeah.
invented styles, and yeah, so
Mhm.
it's hard to say you're like have your own when we're hearing so many different things put out. Like it's been so long since I've heard like a new style. You know what I mean? Like everybody, like the best things have been done.
Yeah. So I'm just like flipping it, reversing it, like Missy Elliott.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, okay. What's your goal? Like, 5 years. What is your plan to go with music?
Goal is hopefully I can gain more fans. One, um, two, hopefully I can get noticed by a very big label, and put out that way, whether it be like distribution, um, anything of that sort, and just publicly. I think it's my 5 year goal right
Just
now.
grow.
Well, yes.
Yeah, you're trying to be big. There's a lot of people I talk to, some it's like 50-50. Some people are like, I want to blow up, I want to be the biggest artist that there is. And some people are like, I don't know, I'm just having fun. So, I mean, since you've been doing this for really a long time, especially being so young,
Mhm.
you've been doing this before you were even 20 years old. What's your piece of advice to people who are trying to get into music or even just creatives in general trying to do their own thing?
My one advice would have to be keep writing. Keep writing. It doesn't matter if you're, not even producing music or you're you feel like you're in a standstill. Best thing to do is keep writing and keep those creative thoughts going. Because once you stop, then you stop. it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like with all different creative things, I'm a creative myself, and it's same concept. If you take those breaks, you kind of lose the love for it. You have to keep exercising that part of your brain, keep going, keep generating new ideas. And there's like I hate saying this, but like we're competing for eyeballs on the internet and with music, and there's just so many people doing things that you have to stay on top.
Exactly. Yeah.
Keep putting it
Mhm.
out. Yeah. Okay.
Practice.
Yeah, yeah. Practice really does make perfect. I mean, it's some people that's been making music for 10, 15 years, and they just finally have really made that name for themselves. Like, you can't
Yeah.
get discouraged. Some people stop after a couple years. Yeah, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Um, what else can I ask you? What's some of the biggest, challenges that you may have gone through so far? Because you've been performing, like I said, a lot more than some of the other people that I've talked to. So you probably went through a lot of things so far.
I want to say the biggest challenges would have to be like financials because
Yeah,
you're putting a lot out, um, you know, just for that fan base and just for, somebody, to look at you and to discover you.
yeah,
So that's the biggest part.
yeah. And do you mean just in terms of, because a lot of people don't realize, like, especially if they're not in the entertainment business in general, it's not even just music, the cost that goes into creating content or maintaining your platforms or music video costs or
Mm.
all the things that would come with that on top of like promotion,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
everything.
Everything down to going to the studio and
Yep.
recording. Like I recorded a lot of um my songs that I've put out on SoundCloud, like on my computer.
Yeah.
So, but then once you do that and then you realize like I gotta start making quality music, like you have to go to the studio, you gotta pay for that quality.
Yeah.
So unless you're really doing it yourself, which that equipment costs money too. So
Right.
uh,
Yeah, it's an expensive thing to be if it's just going to be a hobby. Like it's almost like if you're going to do it, you have to go all in.
exactly.
Yeah, and just like with any business, you can't expect a return right away.
Hmm.
They I remember when I started like my first business some years ago, like it was everybody said don't expect a profit for your first 2 to 3 years. Now it's like more like 5. So you have to be in it for the long game for sure.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything we'll definitely plug yourself, plug your socials. Where do people find you? Where are you still doing this? Are you performing every Tuesday still?
No.
Okay.
So right now, let's see. I don't have any performances coming up. But I did just drop an EP a couple months ago. And that one is on Apple Music. It's featuring the song Priceless that I'm really pushing, featuring my girl Crystal. And that one is on all platforms. DMaze, you can find me on Instagram at DMaze Official, as well as TikTok. I'm on both of them pretty frequently. Um,
Yeah, and don't even get me started on content creating and having to maintain all that.
ooh, yes.
How often are you posting?
I try to post once or twice a week, a little bit more than that. Especially on TikTok. I'm trying to post at least maybe once a week on TikTok. But it's definitely, especially if you're not a content creator or influencer, it's hard because it's like I make music, I
Yeah.
make content. So like trying to find like things to do, especially outside of that. So like when on my downtime I'll, go with my friend, we'll go out to like showcases and kind of show that experience and how that is. What's
Yeah.
that?
It's
Mhm.
yeah, I think the one thing to just like I always tell everybody, everything is content.
Mhm.
No matter what you're doing, no matter where you're going, if you're trying to build an audience of any form, like we just our regular lives, you start to get you're like, well, nobody wants to see this. This isn't entertaining, but we forget like people do, and it's the most basic of things that will like blow up out of nowhere and people are like, I don't even understand why, but if it hits, it hits, record everything like little studio sessions. Like people love the behind the scenes, especially like what you said, starting off on SoundCloud and stuff. Like the people who have been like rocking with your music since then, they love to see you grow, you
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
show all of that, especially like being an up and coming artist. You're going to be such a personality for new artists or people who want to get into music and, just be real, show those experiences. Talk about how expensive the shit is, you know, give some tips. How can you make it work? Be
Yeah.
all you have to be all the things. Like that's probably the hardest thing about having a business this day. Because like I said, if you're not, somebody else is. We're just competing for eyeballs every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do
hard.
the best amount thing.
Yeah, yeah. Just catch the right people. So
Yeah.
what made you get into music ultimately?
I I wrote a lot of poetry when I was younger, and my favorite thing to write was ballads and stuff. So I was just like, oh, this can't be hard. And I knew my boy was, making music in a garage. So I was like, I told my best friend, I was like, hey, let's go over there and see if like I can make a song.
Yeah,
And so over there, we were in the garage and I made the song. I made the song and I was so nervous that I was so nervous to do the ad libs on there. And they had to do my ad libs. And I was just like, oh my gosh. They helped me with um the writing because like a, writing a ballad versus a song is very different. Um so yeah,
yeah,
that was their song. And then I was just like, you know what? They put it on the computer and I have a computer. I can do it by myself. So I started doing it by myself and like, testing the programs and stuff like that. And I just kept going. I was like, this is nice. This is fun.
yeah. Are you still doing any poetry? Are you all in on music?
Mostly music. I do write a lot though. It's not most of like poetry, but like when I have ideas, I'll just like write them down or I'll like type them in my phone whenever
Yeah,
they come to me. But I do journal a lot too. So
yeah. Which a lot of it probably turns into music.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's kind of everything I had. I don't know anything else you want to say to the people or plug or
I don't really have anything to say.
nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. And yeah, that's it.
I'll see
All
you
right.
later. Have a great
Bye.
day.